How's it going? You're welcome along to Thursday's Off the Ball. The 2018 World Cup Finals is underway, and what a start for the hosts. Russia have crushed Saudi Arabia in the opening game. A 5-0 win at the Luzhniki Stadium under the watchful eye of Vladimir Putin. Reaction to come from John Giles and from Kevin Kilban as well, who is in Moscow. He'll be back at his hotel room, and we may get some deep insight once again into Kevin's living conditions coming up on the football show.
More often than not, because he didn't yesterday in that particular instance.
Sorry?
Did you not see the video?
Oh, I did?
Yeah, didn't tip anybody.
Okay.
Kev is a tight
You
horse.
tip somebody who comes in to
Does
change
your bed.
the sheets. Do you?
Can do if you're a multi-millionaire footballer like Kevin Kilban.
No, you don't. The man arrived in uninvited. You don't tip people who arrive in uninvited.
Give him a cursory wave. On
He didn't ring them up and say you wouldn't turn my bed.
He wasn't told to go away on the other hand either, though. Kev didn't wave him away.
Well, he didn't want to be rude. He was live on all our social
I think the
channels.
hotel etiquette is if someone brings your bags up, you tip them. But you don't just tip guys who come to
How much do you tip them? It's supposed to... I'm one of those people, I would sooner carry my bags myself than have that awkward moment of...
And you never hand it over a coin, right?
Like, I don't want to give a fiver.
You give a fiver, I think.
Why do you want to give a fiver for carrying your bags up 2 flights of stairs?
Just polite.
It's just 2 flights of stairs, Nathan.
That's just polite.
Yeah.
Plus, now he's filmed somebody against their will, so you probably should give them some recompense.
See, with the euros, like a fiver seems a lot, but in other countries, the currencies, like you want to give a note. You want to slip a note.
You'll look like a Billy Big Balls.
You're not going to sort of take out jingle the coins and hand them over.
So you're saying we're just unfortunate that a €5 note is a substantial
we've just lost one of
amount money.
ourselves. Yeah, get out of this EU thing.
Right. We are live on all our social channels, Facebook, YouTube and Twitter as well. The NEWSROUND brought to you this evening with ScrewFix.ie, championing the trade with a choice of over 20,000 quality trade products. Dan McDonnell and Richie McCormick are the voices you've just been hearing. It's finally here. Yay. And I'm already disappointed there's not another match.
Yeah,
we were 7 o'clock kickoff
we were
this
saying
evening.
That in the office. It feels like there needs to be another game. We feel like we're missing a limb or something like that this evening. Just something to ease us in. Maybe not be even as exciting or as goal-laden as this afternoon was, but just something else.
Yeah, I enjoyed today, and a lot of comment. Okay, there was a 5-0, it was a thrashing. Look how bad Saudi Arabia are. If we go to a 48-team World Cup, what's going to happen? But heavy defeats are part of the World Cup tradition. People always used to say that the Euros was about the elite. If you want now, that's where you would argue about the Euros expansion. If you want your elite where every game is high quality, the Euros, but the World Cup, part of it is like Zaire getting hammered 9-0 back in the day and 8-0s, 9-0s.
Germany battering Brazil.
Yeah, well, that's true. But Germany
Argentina paying
Saudis
for their win over Peru.
Oh, well, that's it. That's also part of the tradition too.
Seemingly, yeah.
We'll see if Russia go on to win the other games 5-0.
That tradition has come to an end now.
If Russia go on to win the other games 5-0, we can have a dispute.
It wasn't a 5-0 demolition either. For 35-40 minutes, actually, Saudi Arabia were okay.
They grunted
it was
and growled.
two average teams, and then... Well, the Russians' superior fitness just shone through in the
World
closing
Cup's never
stages.
been about every team being brilliant. That's in keeping with the World Cup today. You have a team you don't know a huge amount about. They're a little bit chaotic in terms of their approach, a bit casual in terms of tracking back and so on, but it was entertaining. It wasn't like the dull opening games that we've got in other tournaments.
Like the way you're paving your way nicely to head over to Russia next week and be welcomed with open arms by the country.
Listen,
can be stopped at customs.
No. Great punch.
Cherry Chef's 2 goals as well were crackers.
The second one in particular was gorgeous. Yeah,
that'll be up there. That'll be in the shortlist for goal of the competition.
Yeah.
It probably will be actually. Yeah.
Was it inside of the?
You thought would hope not.
Outside the right, I think.
Outside of the right. Yeah, it was a sweet strike. You've got the best of both worlds. So you're here for the first week.
Yeah.
You get to sit down tomorrow, watch 3 games, 4 games on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
4 games.
I have to travel a bit on Saturday at one point, so I'm not sure I'm going to manage that. I have to figure it right. There's an 11 a.m. game. It's Australia and France, isn't it? Perfect. Maybe 1 o'clock. There's a 2 o'clock is the next one, I think. I think it might be 11, 2, 4 and 7 or
4, 7. That's
I think it might be something like that. So
Argentina, Iceland at 2.
Oh, that's the 2 o'clock, is it?
Then there's a Croatia, Nigeria. You don't want to be missing any of these games.
Yeah, that's the Croatia, Nigeria is going to be good. See, people are faced into a weekend here where you're going to have to make decisions. You're just going to have to write a game off. Like tomorrow, Morocco.
No, you don't write a game off just yet.
There are always hammerings in the World Cup, and you never write off a game in a World Cup, Dan.
I know.
If the Declan Lynch maxim is, if there's a game of football on, you watch the game.
It all goes back to Reading Arsenal in the League Cup, 7-5.
I agree with the principle, but people out there there's people listening who have other things to do at the weekend at some point.
What else could you possibly have to do that isn't watching a World Cup match?
See people. But you might have to write one game off.
I don't get out very often, Dan.
It tells in his
Let
complexion.
that hang there. But I like, this is a very good weekend if you're living in Dublin or you're around. I'm sure a lot of people are coming up. There's a lot of concerts on. Taylor Swift. I saw some tickets were floating around.
They are, yeah. Here you go.
Liam Gallagher tomorrow night. The National. Future Islands. Mercury Rev. All these gigs I would like to go to. Could have gone to Liam Gallagher. And you know what? I decided I'm not going to go to Liam Gallagher.
Just to annoy
I'm
Kilban.
going to watch enough crap during this World Cup that I deserve to sit and watch Spain against Portugal.
Spain against Portugal.
You're going to watch a lot of bad games. So sit down at home and enjoy the good stuff.
I thought you were going to call Liam Gallagher crap then. I mean, I'd agree with you, but Kilban won't be happy.
I wouldn't be happy about that. No. But he's sort of playing Oasis greatest hits. You know, it's a bit of nostalgia over Friday night.
In the sunshine.
In the sunshine. And
Yeah, he'll probably find
that was more Johnny Ward doing Brian Clough than.
I don't want to say it, but I was just going to let it go and move on. But people are going to miss 1 or 2 games. It will happen. You'll have to just, cynically look through the list.
We're not 22 and it's not the summer of 2002 anymore, Dan.
No, you just can't. You have other commitments. Like, real life just takes over.
But the good thing is, Richie, Sunday's Father's Day. So therefore we're entitled to sit down and watch the 3 games.
Some of us are working, Nathan.
I am entitled to sit down and watch the 3 games. I'm also working.
Yeah.
Tune in Championship Sunday, 9 a.m. Sunday morning. Rival radio station, but it's fine. Just putting it out there.
9 a.m. you
and
see.
Then watch
you'll
the
be
golf.
done for, you'll be done for the 11 a.m. I assume it was 11 a.m. game
11
on
a.m.
Sunday.
No, there's not. No.
Oh.
Saturday's the only 11 a.m. game.
Oh, is it? Oh.
It's the only 11 a.m.
So you have to get it in for the novelty factor alone.
So it's going to be a brilliant weekend. We will obviously have it all covered here on Off the Ball. Richie's going to be here on Sunday. The US Open is underway as well. It's been, well, not even slightly overshadowed by the World Cup, completely overshadowed by the World Cup, but it's been absolute carnage at Shinnecock Hills. We've been previewing this during the week and wondering how the USGA, the organisation, would set up the course in response to the last time it was there in 2004 when there was all sorts of issues with the greens and they were way too fast and they couldn't keep the balls on and they were having to go and water the greens between the groups coming along. And some of the slightly shambolic US Opens over the last few years, well, I don't want to say it's shambolic, but it's verging on impossible for certain players.
They've
so the
set
marquee
this up
group,
with a deal of spite.
Are they secretly happy because it was like
Yes, they are,
16 under last year, Brooks Koff there, like you were saying beforehand.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what the score was. I didn't realise actually it was that high. I just remember, because I do like the traditional US Open where it's generally the one major where par is a good score. I actually like watching them struggle sometimes, but this seems to be extreme.
the marquee group today was Phil Mickelson, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy. Phil Mickelson won that. He took home the gold, and I've no doubt with Phil involved there was a little bit of a side wager as well.
Oh, probably.
Phil was 7 over par. Spieth was 8 over par, and Rory was 10 over par. The lead at the moment is on 1 under par. I think Scott Piercy's in the clubhouse. Is Poulter in the clubhouse? And
he is, yeah.
1 under par as well.
Molinari's just joined them on that group as well.
Tiger has just started. Triple bogey at the first.
Yeah.
So the wind is up, and the wind is meant to strengthen as the evening goes on. So they're saying that the early starters will actually have the easier of the conditions. Like the fairways are quite wide, but it just seems that around the greens it's so difficult. And listen, there is something quite nice at times of seeing the world's best players in 8 foot of rough and just having to try and hack it out.
The schadenfreude involved for people like you, Nathan, in this is just off the charts.
Well, but at the same time, you do want the best players to be able to play and get themselves into contention. And right now, it's not a very exciting leaderboard if you don't have Rory or Spieth. Like the most exciting player on that leaderboard is probably Justin Rose, who's in a tie for 10th.
Yeah, it's a tough balancing act because certainly, do you remember the Carnoustie Open back? It was like the one that Paul Lawrie won, and Van de Velde obviously went sort of swimming on the last or whatever. And that was a year I remember where it was just crazy, and it was almost the major win was undermined. Maybe a bit unfair on Lawrie.
Was it 6 over was the score that got you into the playoff?
It was something insane like that, yeah. But you kind of wondered, the better players, are they able to is Rory just able to write it off and go, hey, this is tough? Or does it psychologically affect you and knock you back when you're
hole by hole?
It's embarrassing for someone of that ability to look up and see your score.
But surely you look at the leaderboard and you go hole by hole. Well, maybe bogey is an okay score.
Yeah, I assume so.
Well, the player I feel sorry for is poor old Scott Gregory, who was an English professional who came through qualifying. This is his big opportunity. I think he's played a couple of majors for as an amateur, but his first major as a professional, 22 over par, a round of 92.
It's do
you come out tomorrow?
He played the first round of the US Open, Nathan, which is more than any of us will achieve.
No, it's sort of mad to think that really.
You're like, I don't know, maybe give me a couple of years.
Anyone out there who thinks that they're any good at golf, like, must then be in the knowledge that they would have shot around 120. Like, when you realise how good all these guys are.
It's like watching Saudi Arabia
At
playing.
least, I would say a scratch golfer on that course would shoot 120.
I think I agree. Like, it's. I think that's where you think, is this like humiliating for these guys, and is it fair? So like there's that balancing act between making it really tough to the point where it's just like cruel and unplayable. But you never know. Come Sunday evening, some of the sort of cream might have come to the top eventually. But
yeah, already you're probably looking at 7-8 over par for the cut. So even if you get back to that sort of number, or even 5-6 over tomorrow, you're probably going to have a shout over the weekend. So the plan for the evening is John Giles, as always, coming up at 7:30. He'll have reaction to that win for Russia over Saudi Arabia, and as well talking about the latest ongoings in Spain, and we'll get an update on that with Richie in a moment. 8 o'clock, we're going to be looking ahead to the Connacht football final. It's Roscommon against Galway for the third year in a row. David Brady and Ray Silk will join us for that. We'll head over to Shinnecock at around about 20 to 9 to get the latest from Jason Sobel. And then on the football show, we're going to be talking Portugal, because they've been completely overshadowed. They've been. I heard one of the Portuguese players in the press conference today saying that, Spain have had a good build-up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The old trotted out cliche line.
I'm sorry.
They'll have left nothing to chance, or something along those lines. Yeah.
They'll be as well prepared as ever.
You sort of forget I don't know. Like, they're the European champions. Like, it's very rare. You all drop in that sentence, like, European champions Portugal will play Spain, and they have sort of crept in under the radar.
Because they're at Greece level of
there
European
probably
champions.
is. Yeah, there is that element that they're still not spoken of in those like big gun terms. But they'd fancy it now.
So they've had their own issues as well with club players in Sporting Lisbon just walking out on their contracts after they were attacked.
the fan violence, yeah.
So we'll talk about that as well, and whether that's had any effect on the mood in the Portuguese camp. So that coming up on the football show. Lads, you leave a tip when you check out from the hotel for housekeeping. You wouldn't tip every day, says Larry from Waterford. You just wouldn't tip every day.
Well, a multi-millionaire footballer like Kevin Kilban.
That opening match reminded me of EA Sports FIFA 98. Used to always play a one-off match against Saudi Arabia. Guaranteed goal fest every time, says Brian.
Confidence booster. Yeah.
Lads, what's your favourite World Cup opening game? For me, Brazil v Scotland in 98 due to Brazil hype, Scottish fight, and being actually unlucky not to draw, says Kev. We spoke about this on the World Cup show, 12:30 every day. I think it's midday tomorrow though. But
it's the first day of my junior cert, so I missed that game.
Was it?
Cameroon Argentina is still the one.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
I don't overly remember it.
Germany and Costa Rica.
Well, that was my favourite because I was in Germany for it.
That was belting. That game was cracking.
Zone in Dortmund.
Remember that one at all?
4-2.
Thomas
Billy Blam.
Frings scored one from distance as well. Thorsten Frings. It was a brilliant game.
Sensational goals.
Yeah.
It was a glorious time.
God,
it was about 28 degrees in Dortmund. Was there supporting Trinidad and Tobago. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Anyway, Richie.
Look at you now, Nathan.
Old and haggard.
At you now.
What's
very
going
interesting
on, Richie,
early
What's
life.
going on?
Russia.
What are you saying now?
Russia, as you mentioned, have made the perfect start to the World Cup finals. The hosts 5-0 victors over Saudi Arabia at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow. Yuri Gazinski got the opening goal of the tournament after just 12 minutes. Denis Cheryshev doubled the host lead 2 minutes before the break. He was a sub for Alan Jagoev, who went off injured with a hamstring injury. Artem Dzyuba made it 3 with 19 minutes to go before Cheryshev added his second with the goal of the game, and Alexander Golovin completed the rout with an injury time free kick. Sticking with the World Cup, and Egypt boss Hector Cooper is confident that Mohamed Salah will be fit for Egypt's opening Group A game tomorrow. The Liverpool forward has been rehabbing a shoulder injury that forced him out of the Champions League final in Kiev. Cooper assured attendees at a press conference today that Salah would be fit against Uruguay in Ekaterinburg.
Yeah, that's great, because you want to see the best players and see what sort of damage that he can do tomorrow. The highlight actually today was Putin Cam. Every time a goal went in, so you had sitting in the VIP section, or the prawn sandwich brigade, as Ronnie Whelan described, Vladimir Putin, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and Gianni Infantino. So you have the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia on the left-hand side, Infantino in the middle, and Putin on the right-hand side. And every time there was a goal, the camera went to them, and there was an awkward bit of banter where Vladimir throws his hands up when the fourth goal went in and went, who could have predicted?
Yeah,
Who could have predicted?
I wonder what was that the main? Are we watching like a FIFA feed that this is the director's thing? Because it was a bit like Wimbledon after every it's like when they used to go back to like Tim Henman's family or something. You know, after every shot, every major moment, you were going there.
World Cup is all centrally done.
This has to be part of the plan. You know,
94 was the last World Cup where it was done by the host broadcaster.
okay.
There you go.
And did it go horribly wrong? Why did they change it?
No, they just wanted more. They wanted a FIFA look. It would have been a Sepp Blatter kind of thing, I'd imagine. And Sepp Blatter making a few quid by selling these things.
Dustin Johnson is level pars, a par putt at the second. He is among the later starters, but tell us then about Rory McIlroy, Richie.
Yeah, he's already left himself with a lot to do if he's to make the cut at the US Open. The world number 6 shot a 10 over par opening round of 80 at a windy Shinnecock Hills today. It was a round that included back-to-back double bogeys at 13 and 14. Ian Poulter and Scott Piercy are the clubhouse leaders on 1 under par, although Peter Uihlein has just assumed the outright lead just 5 holes into his first round. The American is now 2 under par. It was a day though where birdies were hard to come by. Elsewhere out on course, Graham McDowell double bogeyed his first hole. He's now 3 over par playing his 4th. Tiger Woods, he's currently 4 over par playing the 3rd, and Shane Lowry will tee off in the next couple of moments. Justin Rose, he battled to a 1 over par opening round of 71 and says the patience and perseverance were key today.
Yeah, normally you walk off and you're in the black and it's not a great start, but that was a great start today. Going out early, I felt like I could have the best of the day, but the best of the day was still tough. Obviously, I didn't quite realise how good the 71 was until I got in and I saw a lot of the big name players are struggling today. So just to hang around and obviously I played really well. I hit 13 out of 14 fairways today, which enabled me to at least have a chance of attacking this golf course. And clearly I made my mistakes here and there, but I did enough good stuff to keep it all together and to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, he's now the bookies' favourite after such a steady start, and with the course set up as it is, Justin Rose, the type of player you feel is going to hang around over the weekend and give himself a chance. Peter Uihlein then, the early leader, golfing royalty. Peter Uihlein,
Titleist.
His dad runs Titleist.
Yeah.
It's not bad going.
That's a lot of balls.
That's
I can't believe he laughed at that. I can't believe that got the biggest laugh.
You can actually hear laughter in the production box
here. Sports program. You could literally make the "that's a load of balls" joke about anything.
They're rolling around in there. Yeah.
Titleist. Works.
All right, it works. We'll give you that one, Richie. Go on.
Tadhg Beirne poised to make his Ireland debut in Saturday's second test with Australia. The incoming Munster second row has been named on the bench as Ireland look to level the summer series. Jonathan Sexton, Dan Levy and Gary Ringrose all earn recalls, but there's no room in the matchday squad for Jacob Stockdale or Sean Cronin. Munster hooker Niall Scannell and winger Andrew Conway start in their stead. Joe Schmidt hoping things will finally come together in Melbourne on Saturday.
We trained well today. We were a little bit flat on Tuesday, to be honest. It took some players a little bit of time to kind of find their feet. We're a long way from home, and I think 9 hours time difference. And I just like to think that we've got a little bit more rhythm about us. I think one of the things that was really good about the Six Nations is I felt we built through the Six Nations, and I'm hoping that we can build through this tour. We obviously didn't want to start from where we started. We would have liked to have started from a bit of a higher pitch and built on from that, with the Australians naming the same side. We're very confident that they'll come well prepared, and they'll improve their game a little bit. So we've got to improve that a little bit more, because I felt they were very good on Saturday.
Bit of a surprise to see Niall Scannell in at hooker ahead of Sean Cronin, who made such a brilliant impact during the Six Nations and was outstanding for Leinster over the last few weeks. Not even in the squad, Cronin. Conway coming in. Jacob Stockdale has a bit of an injury.
He's nursing a bit of a knock, yeah. I think they're trying to keep him in reserve pretty much until the third test. They figure that he should be okay for that one, but best not to risk him this time.
Is Saturday morning an ultimate football man or rugby man test?
What time is it at?
11 o'clock.
Oh,
so
11
do you
o'clock.
watch Ireland against Australia in the rugby, or do you watch France against Australia in the football?
Well, I mean, you're asking me this. In Australia maybe it's a test for the football man and the rugby man.
What do you think? Because rugby union's struggling in...
There's a state of origins on at the moment, isn't it? The league is whatever. Well, obviously that's not going to be on at the same time.
I know people are going to say, well, just use two screens and watch the two of them at the same time. Again, I'm going all in on the
Which
World Cup.
will you be watching? Yeah, I was just going to say.
going in
You getting paid?
I'm going all in on the World Cup.
You've got 2 tellies in one room.
Well, I'm going to be at work, so we do have 2 tellies, so I'll keep a close eye, but definitely.
But you're going
I
World
want to see
Cup.
how good France are going to be.
You're going World Cup, yeah. I mean, well, obviously, World Cup.
I'm just waiting for Mbappe. I just want to see him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was...
I hope he's not injured.
Yeah, he had a scare, didn't he? Yeah, but he seems like he's... No, and he was, even in the friendly against Ireland, he was sensationally good. Like, it's rare that someone in a friendly can sort of excite you in terms of even his approach to that game, because he's a bit younger, he's not sort of cynical to the whole friendly business yet. He wasn't quite like minded himself. Yeah, I know, I mean, obviously...
Australia aren't very good though, are they? I was looking at various odds of who the top goal scorer could be for different countries. And second favourite for Australia is no goal scorer.
Yeah, well, I think when Ireland played them there was a discussion with the French media over why had they picked Ireland. And one of the players was confused, said, well, Denmark, it's because they may be similar to Denmark. But it was quickly clarified, I think by Deschamps or someone, no, it was Ireland. Ireland, Australia quite direct. That was the sort of rationale. So, yeah, I don't think they're expected to tear things up.
So we're going to talk Connacht final after 8 o'clock. Galway have named their team.
Yeah, and Kevin Walsh made just one change to his Galway side for Sunday's Connacht football final, with Roscommon Paul Conroy coming into the midfield in place of Peter Cook. As we know, Roscommon named their side last weekend and are unchanged from their semi-final win over Leitrim. Sticking with GAA, 2014 All-Ireland winning captain Lester Ryan has apparently left the Kilkenny panel. The Clara player wasn't part of their matchday squad for last weekend's Leinster round robin win over Wexford.
What else happening?
Sligo Rovers, they've made their second signing of the week. Goalkeeper Mitchell Beanie has signed a permanent deal from Chelsea. The son of former Leeds keeper Mark Beanie has been on loan at the showground since the start of the season. Yesterday, the club signed former Shamrock Rovers forward Mikey Drennan. And of course, We Had Off the Ball are the official media partners to Sligo Rovers. One other outgoing, Faisal Kazmi, has left Waterford for Belgian side Beerschot Vilvrik. The midfielder played 12 times for the Premier Division side this season. Kazmi only joined from Lierse Reserve back in January.
If you think I'm pumped about the World Cup, I'm uber pumped about the return of the Premier League.
Way too pumped.
2 months away. 2 months away. The fixtures are out.
It's all here. And surprisingly enough, everybody plays each other home and away.
Arsenal have a tough start.
Why would they release them today when the World Cup is starting?
Well, I was wondering this as well. Or is it that
doing the press conference?
Well, I was sort of thinking maybe Sky Sports News have nothing to do.
Yeah.
They have nothing. Today is the worst day of the year for them. Everybody's watching BBC or ITV, so they need a little bit of something. So they get the fixtures.
Just couldn't care.
Chat about.
I've no, like.
What about Unai Emery? First up, Manchester City, then Chelsea. Nightmare start for Arsenal. Spurs, Liverpool, the first game at the new White Hart Lane.
In the summer of 2019, that's an interesting news story. That could be even second or third in the bulletin. Today it's just like, park it.
So there's a lot of crazy things starting to happen at the World Cup, and one of the great things about it is that crazy things tend to happen, and there's going to be a lot of stories emerge that we will never have expected over the next little while. Antoine Griezmann, though, decides he wants a little bit of excitement and a little bit of attention. What is happening tonight, Richie?
He's having his own TV special in Spain to announce his quote-unquote decision. The French international forward refused to give a definitive answer at his press conference this week and instead will inform viewers of Movistar in Spain tonight. It's expected Griezmann will announce if he's staying at Atletico Madrid or leaving the Wanda Metropolitano, possibly for Barcelona. That decision said to be aired at 8:15 Irish time.
Do we know how long the TV show is going to last?
I don't think it's that long.
Like how long? How is the process going to happen? Is he being interviewed by somebody?
By the guy who did the interview with Diana or something, like to bring him in for the gig, like
Martin Bashir.
Martin Bashir, you're back.
Diana.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. Antoine Griezmann.
The travel. Did you see the Griezmann press conference the other day where the French press officer, it was fantastic, trying to ban questions in anything but French, wasn't it? And a Spanish guy just got the Google Translate app and popped it through the microphone.
Griezmann thought it was very
fantastically ingenious. Yeah.
The extremely angry French press officer was on the verge of going overboard.
It could be the way forward for those press conferences.
Well, you can sit
no
there
translation, just get the Google Translate app to do the work for you.
All right, I think that's us done for now. Dan is going to be around for the evening, Richie as well. So the plan after 8 o'clock, we're going to look ahead to the Connacht football final. David Brady will be in studio. Ray Silk joining us as well. We will be over to Shinnecock Hills before 9 o'clock to check in on the US Open and the football show coming up. We'll talk to Kevin Kilban, who was in the Luzhniki Stadium for Russia's win over Saudi Arabia, and we'll be looking ahead to Spain, Portugal as well. But up next, it is John Giles.
Off the Ball on News Talk.
Thanks to ScrewFix.ie, championing the trade with a choice of over 20,000 quality trade products.
The Picture Show.
Rupert Everett was in Dublin this week and I caught up with him to chat about his Oscar Wilde movie The Happy Prince, which he's been trying to get made for 10 years. He also talks about the slings and arrows of being openly gay in Hollywood, and he reveals that he intends to continue writing and directing as well as starring in his own movies.
The Picture Show.
With me, Philip Malloy, at 6 on Saturday.
On News Talk.
There's a new place to buy Peugeot in Dublin, Sandyford Motor Centre. Call in today and test drive the 182 Peugeot range. If you're in the market for a new van, check out our award-winning partner, Expert and Boxer range. Visit sandyfordmotorcentre.com for more details. Sandyford Motor Centre, the new home for Peugeot in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Brendan Kavanagh, CEO of GDPRcourse.com. GDPR became law on Friday, May 25th. Are you worried that your business, volunteer organisation or club is at risk of being fined? We now run daily accredited GDPR practical implementation courses at our nationwide training facilities. This course gives members of your organisation tasked with GDPR the practical tools to implement and maintain GDPR compliance. Don't get ripped off by expensive consultants. Go to GDPRcourse.com.
The World Cup, the biggest stage for upsets, passion and opportunity. Your gut says to take advantage of every